Welcome back, guys. Today we are doing top 5 budget park decks. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Matisse. For all of you guys out there that are balling on a budget, don't have much dough in your pocket, we're going to go through a list of what we think are top 5 budget park decks. And it's not cheapest decks of all time. It's just what we have on the site right now for 2021. So without further ado, let's get into it. With that out the way, we're going to go into our first deck, which is going to be the FUZION Entropy deck. So here it's got a nice little head tube. They got a pretty cute little cutout with 4 holes going down. Should save you a little bit of weight. This deck comes in at 2.8 pounds, which for a park deck is going to be pretty light. As far as specs go, this is coming in at 4.7 wide by 19.5 long. So it's not too big of a deck, but for anyone out there that wants to learn some buttercups, kicklesses, this is going to be a perfect deck for you. When it comes to park, you don't want to go with too big of a deck. It's just going to be a little easier for your feet to be placed on it, just for you to like whip it around. It'll be a lot easier. But for us, we have this listed at number 5, and that's because it is the most expensive deck on the list. And this is coming in at $139.95. If any of you guys like this deck, you guys can pick this up on our website. It comes in 3 colors. You have this magenta, burgundy type red. You have a liquid blue and a black. And this scooter is going to be pretty much rolling up on any wheel size up to 24 millimeters and 110. But yeah, so this is the number 5 deck, and we're going to be moving on to number 4 right now. So the number 4 deck on our list is going to be the EVO Vulcan deck. So you may be looking at this deck and be thinking this is some type of street deck. It kind of does look like it, but we have it listed at the park deck just because of the size and the specs of it. So the size of this deck is coming in at 5.1 wide and 19.5 or 20.5 long. So again, kind of the same theme of size that we're going to go through with just a little bit wider. This deck has square grinding rails on the bottom, so if you want to do some buttercups and bride flips, those typical park tricks, but you also want to mix in some street tricks as well, this is going to be the perfect deck for you. So one of the benefits of this deck per se compared to the FUZION Entropy deck is you're going to be able to ride a lot bigger wheels. So this deck comes 12 standard, meaning that you can ride those bigger wheels, you can ride the bigger bearings. You're going to be able to move a lot faster if you row those wheels. Doesn't mean you have to. This deck can fit the 24 millimeters by 125 millimeters. So if you like those bigger type of wheels, this deck's going to be perfect for you. Compared to the FUZION deck, this deck is coming in a little heavier. So if you're a weight weenie and you like your decks light, like I know I do, you might want to go with the FUZION deck. But this deck isn't too bad. It's coming in at 3.2 pounds. That's pretty standard as far as scooter decks go. I believe my deck that I'm riding right now is like 3.6. I guess keep that in mind when you're looking for decks. To finish this deck off, we're just going to go over the colors, which is just pretty simple. It's black or raw, and that can pretty much match any type of scooter theme you want. We have this at number 4, and we're going to move on to number 3 right now. At number 3, we have the Lucky Prospect deck. As far as this list goes, I think this is got to be my favorite deck on the list. I just like the way it looks. I like the shape of the head tube, very Cody Flom-like. But I think that all of these decks are going to be good no matter what you want to do. It just kind of depends the style of deck you want, the weight of it, the size, the color. And for me, this is my personal favorite. This deck comes in 4 colors. So we have Cobalt, Medallion, Onyx, and Polished. And for this color right here, I think this is pretty sweet. It'll give your scooter that nice little shine. Honestly, it just reminds me of Cody Flom. That's why I like this deck. I like Cody Flom. So this is a fixed size deck. It's 4.8 wide by 19.5 long. So a pretty standard size as far as park decks go. If you like that smaller size deck, this might be for you. So this deck comes in at $129.95. Just $10 cheaper than any of the decks that we showed previously. When I say the words cheaper, I'm not necessarily talking about the quality of the deck, I'm just talking about the price. As far as the decks go, we're ranging from a price of $139 all the way down to $69.95. And we're not gonna go down as far as quality goes, it's just price. When it comes to head-to angle, this deck is coming in at 82.5 degrees. The last 2 that we went over were 83. Honestly, I don't really care about my degree angle. It really doesn't matter, I just kind of ride whatever deck feels best to me. But I know some of you really care, or it kind of affects how your bars tilt. Completely up to you. To conclude this deck, if you want to run some bigger wheels, you're going to need to purchase the Steely brake. It comes with a Steely brake, but it only runs up to 110 millimeters. So if you want to run 120s, you're going to have to purchase a brake separately. Okay, so that concludes the 3rd deck that we have on the list. We're going to move on to number 2. Number 2 on the list, we have the ERAWAN deck. So this deck has been around for honestly a minute. It comes in 4 colors. You're gonna get this nice black, gray, red, and blue. And honestly, the colors on it are pretty sweet. It's not too blue, not too red. It's kind of perfect. The Ethic deck comes in at 4.5 wide by 19.7 or 20.7 long. So it's 2 sizes for you to choose from. Personally, if you're a bigger rider, I'd go 20.7. You're kind of pushing the boundaries. I think once you go 21.5, you're kind of reaching into that like street realm deck, but it's kind of up to you what you want. If you're a smaller rider, I'd definitely go 19.5, but having a little extra foot space never hurt anyone. So this is going to be the second lightest deck that we have on the list. This is coming in at 2.7 pounds. Head tube angle is 82.5, so same as the Lucky deck. The one thing I will say about this deck is when you go to grip it, you may need more advanced technique, just because this head tube comes in at more of like a diagonal shape. So just something to keep in mind when you do go to grip it. So because this is on the lower end of the Ethic line, this deck has limited you to what wheels you can actually ride. So that means that you can ride 110 millimeters by 24 millimeter wheels. So that's kind of the industry standard wheel, but if you were looking to ride one of the 120s or 12 standard, you might want to check one of the decks that we listed earlier. I mean, going off the looks of this deck, I love the head tube. It has this cool little hex design along the head tube and a little cutout in the middle. Saves a little bit of weight. Doesn't mean the deck is going to break, it's just a lighter deck. And that's pretty much all I got to say about this deck. So let's move on to the #1 budget park deck on the list. Okay, so before we get into the #1 deck, we're gonna read some comments from some past YouTube videos. So honestly, if none of you guys are commenting, you guys are missing out. We usually try to read most of the comments after a video, but especially for videos like these, if you want to be featured in a future video, definitely drop a comment below. Maybe on this video, on another video, a past video, a future video, just drop a comment. All right, so let's get into this. I was told this is from the build-off of my girlfriend versus Julian's girlfriend. So I only know that just because his first comment talks about Julian, so let's read it. Julian is absolutely hilarious. Definitely the most entertaining video to watch. Honestly, I agree. It was a long one, I'm not gonna lie, but it was pretty funny. You guys don't know Julian like I know him, and he can definitely be frustrating to deal with, but just a video like that, like, it's so funny. All right, next comment, here we go. So it says, I like Julian and Adele better. When he said Sakon, I was like, uh-oh. Dude, we set him up pretty hard for that one. I knew maybe like a few hours before the build that I was gonna try and do something like that, because he's not like, Julian just doesn't know things. If you asked him about like a writer, like a movie star, like he wouldn't know. Like, I don't know how he's just so not like there, but I had it planned up. And when he asked about the third game of Scoot, I was like, oh, this is my chance. And when he didn't know what it was, I was like, we got him. Yeah, okay, let's run the clip, just so you guys know.
One more thing to say. Matisse, first game of Scoot was Gundo. Second was Alondra. Where's third?
It's going to be located at Sakon.
Sakon? Wait, no,
We got him, boys. We got him. We got him.
No, dude. We're not doing this.
Third comment, here we go. Also a climber, man. Would love to know how hard you can climb. Honestly, I'm not that good at climbing. I tried it for a little bit. Woo! It is hard. Like, I thought it'd be kind of easy because I worked out, you know, and after like an hour, like, you're just kind of done. But so fun. If any of you guys haven't tried it, you guys definitely gotta go to like any like local gym or rock. Definitely a vibe. All right, Albany Street Riders. Thank you for the comment. Okay, here we go. JM Scooters says, hope Ben grows up to be the world's, well, he said world, but I'm guessing he means world's best. He is insane. Emoji, emoji, emoji. Honestly, I agree. Ben honestly shreds. If you guys haven't seen Ben, you gotta check him out. But at 8 years old, I definitely would not have been that good as he is. He had to like start maybe a year or two ago. I don't know how long he's been scootering for, but Ben just has a lot of control on his scooter. You can see it like on his Insta clips, but it is outrageous. Okay, Cake FB says, this is so sick. I just got into scootering. Is there any tips for beginners? I got you, dude. Honestly, the key to getting good at scootering is just practice, practice, practice. You gotta go to the skate park. You gotta get your reps in. Honestly, consistency is key. You gotta practice. I watched a lot of YouTube videos growing up, just a lot of tutorials. That was pretty much what helped me. Practice, have fun, enjoy it, enjoy the ride. Okay, here we go. T_0K0 says, Matisse and Julian have been the best dynamic ever. Honestly, I agree, because we have our own like friendly competition. Every time we see each other, it's always like game on. As far as like anyone else on the vault, I feel like it gets a little more personal. Maybe like Ruben and Wyatt, that could be a good dynamic. Theirs is pretty low-key, you guys want to know about that. Austin and Walter, that one gets pretty heated sometimes. I think definitely they put their heart into that one. But yeah, I love Julian and I definitely hate him. So, moving on. Brandon _ says, Matisse's girl is kind of fire, no cap. I mean, honestly, I can't disagree. I 100% agree. If you're watching this, sorry, she's taken. But thanks for the comment. Your boy Erez says, woo, here we go. Matisse's girlfriend low-key looks like Kendall Jenner. I don't think I see the resemblance, but I'm gonna take that as a compliment. I know she will, but she's better. Way better. Okay, moving on. Eli _ Wald says, Matisse is way too gangsta. They put an orangutan. You put an orangutan emoji. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I'm gonna just take that as a compliment and say thank you, man. Okay. George Geiza says, I miss Beto so much. You and me too, brother. That guy doesn't see the light of day without his girlfriend. I want to hang out with that guy. I want to ride with him. I want to get a ride in his car. And for those of you guys that don't know who Beto is, he used to work here. Saw him in like a few videos. One of my best friends, and he just doesn't love me enough to see me. And before I read the last comment, I want you guys all to just comment something on this video. Doesn't matter what it is. Could be something funny, could be something supportive, could be hate, honestly. Hate me, roast me, I don't care. But just leave a comment, I wanna see it, and you guys could be featured in next week's video, who knows? So, with that all said, let's move into Apache Beatdown's comment saying sock on. All right, so we just wrapped up all the comments, and with that being said, we're gonna move into the #1 budget park deck in 2021 in the world, in the universe, on the Milky Way. Boom! All right, so we got the VERSATYL Bloody Mary V2 deck. This deck is coming in at, you heard it right, $69.95. This deck is the most budget-friendly deck that we have to offer you guys in 2021. If you're a park rider or a hybrid rider, could be a street rider, wouldn't recommend it, but hey, we don't judge here. This deck comes in at a whopping 4.5 by 20 wide. So we're keeping a similar theme as far as specs go, but this deck is pretty sick. Comes with some grip tape. Definitely an interesting design. It's not like a straight line like how you would kind of see it. It's not fitted to the deck. It's more like a little angle, and that's pretty sweet to me, if I do say so myself. Because hey, we're all budget friendly here, trying to get you the cheapest, most cost-efficient deck on the market, and it's gonna save you about 10 bucks, because who needs to buy grip tape? I know I do. Okay, so as far as the specs go, just going to the back. The max wheel size you're gonna be able to ride is 110 by 24 millimeters. Again, standard wheel size. You're not really gonna be able to run a bigger wheel unless you do go with the 8 millimeter size axle. So it is compatible in the back. You're gonna be able to run a bigger size wheel if you want to. You're gonna have to buy that axle separately. And that's pretty much it. Same 83-degree head tube angle, not much of a difference. Yeah, so I mean, just to wrap it up, it comes in this grayish black color. It's listed as black. Looks a little gray to me. Doesn't really matter. But so it has some vinyl cuts on the deck that make it pretty sick. As far as the bottom goes, we got another vinyl cut. It says Bloody Mary. Just letting you know what the deck's called in case you forget. But yeah, that is gonna conclude this deck. This is your #1 budget-friendly park deck for 2021. And I just want to clarify that these decks right here, just because their price is cheaper doesn't mean they're lacking anything when it comes to quality. You are getting a solid deck, whether it's this one, that one, or any of the other 3 that I named. But yeah, sometimes you just can't afford a new deck when maybe your deck snaps or you just need a new deck. So we came through with this video for you guys just to educate any of you guys that don't want to check out our site on your own. Here you go, 5 decks from $139 to about $69.95. All right, so just like that, we made it to the end, baby. 5 decks. You guys saw it here first. If you guys want to see any other top 5s, whether it's clamps, forks, headsets, axles, let us know down below. Drop a comment and make sure, comments are important. We will read them and you might get featured, so drop one, you never know. With that being said, we're gonna end this video now. We'll see you on Friday or Wednesday or Monday, whenever you want to tune in. Drop a like, drop a comment, share the video, subscribe if you haven't, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you guys in the next one.